Every day asks something from you. Not in grand ways, but in small ones. A careless comment. A delayed message. A driver cutting across your lane. Plans changing without warning. Someone speaking with a tone that lingers long after the conversation ends. Tiny moments. Tiny cuts. Yet by evening, you feel strangely exhausted. Not because life was difficult, but because you reacted to everything. Each irritation demanded a piece of your attention. Each disappointment borrowed a little of your peace. Each insult invited you into an invisible battle. And without noticing, you spent the entire day fighting wars that never truly belonged to you. The modern world rewards reaction. Instant replies. Instant outrage. Instant judgment. We have become experts at defending ourselves, but strangers to protecting our own stillness. What if the greatest source of your exhaustion isn't your workload or your responsibilities, but the simple habit of reacting to every passing disturbance? The Taoists understood something remarkable. Thousands of years ago, a lesson so simple, yet so profound, that it can dissolve anger before it is even born. It begins with an empty boat. If these quiet reflections bring you even a moment of peace, consider leaving a like and subscribing to The Burned Out Sage, where ancient wisdom becomes a gentle refuge from the noise of modern life. Now, let's return to the river. Imagine a quiet morning. Mist rests gently above the water. The river is almost silent. You sit alone inside a small wooden boat. There is nowhere you need to rush. Only the soft rhythm of flowing water. Then, a second boat begins drifting toward you. Slowly. Quietly. Until it collides with yours. Your body jolts. Water ripples around you. Your first feeling is irritation. You look up, and you see someone inside. Immediately, your mind begins creating a story. Why weren't they paying attention? They should have moved. They ruined my peace. Perhaps you shout. Perhaps they shout back. Within seconds, two strangers are carrying far more weight than two boats on a river. Now imagine the same collision. The same sound. The same sudden impact. But this time, the drifting boat is empty. No one sits inside. No one is steering. No one chose this collision. The wind carried it. The current guided it. You may still steady yourself. But something remarkable happens. The anger never arrives. Why? The collision was identical. The inconvenience was identical. Only one thing changed. The presence of another ego. Chuang Tzu offered this story because he understood something timeless. Most anger does not come from what happened. It comes from who we believe made it happen. Our suffering begins the moment we imagine intention. The moment we believe, this was done to me. An empty boat carries no insult, no disrespect, no malice. It simply drifts. And because there is no one to blame, peace returns almost immediately. The Tao asks us a difficult question. How many boats in your life were never occupied at all? Most of us spend our lives surrounded by occupied boats. Or at least, we believe we do. Someone ignores your message. They don't respect me. Someone interrupts you. They think I'm unimportant. Someone speaks sharply. They wanted to hurt me. But life is rarely that simple. The person who snapped at you may have slept only 3 hours. The stranger who seemed cold may have just received terrible news. The friend who forgot your birthday may be drowning in worries you cannot see. People are often carried by currents they never chose. Their fears, their stress, their disappointments, their own invisible storms. And sometimes, life itself becomes the drifting boat. Traffic, rain, canceled plans, delayed flights, lost opportunities, illness. None of these wake up in the morning, planning to ruin your day. Yet we greet them as enemies. We argue with reality. We fight the weather. We resent time. We become angry at things incapable of hearing our anger. This is how suffering grows. The ego whispers a dangerous sentence. This is about me. But the Tao quietly replies, no. It is simply life moving. The more personally you take the world, the heavier your heart becomes. Every passing wave feels like an attack. Every changing wind feels unfair. But when you begin seeing empty boats everywhere, something softens. You stop searching for villains. You stop carrying invisible arguments. You realize that most people are simply trying to survive. Just like you. Their boats drift. Your boat drifts. The river carries everyone. Some collide. Most separate again. The wise person does not waste a lifetime shouting across the water. They simply continue rowing. How do you live this wisdom? Not through perfection, but through practice. The first step. Pause. Before replying. Before defending yourself. Before proving your point. Create one quiet breath. Between what happened and what you choose to do. That single breath is where freedom lives. The second step. Ask yourself one gentle question. Is this boat occupied? Or is it simply drifting? Did someone truly intend to wound you? Or are they simply carrying burdens you cannot see? Is this event really personal? Or has your mind quietly made it personal? Most of the time, you already know the answer. The third step. Choose stillness. Not because you are weak, but because stillness cannot be manipulated. Anyone can react. Anyone can shout. Anyone can surrender their peace. Few people can remain calm, while chaos asks for their attention. That is strength. Not the strength that dominates others, but the strength that refuses to be dominated by every passing emotion. Imagine ending your day differently. Not drained by dozens of unnecessary battles. Not replaying conversations. Not feeding resentment. But carrying home the same peace you left with that morning. This is not indifference. It is clarity. It is seeing life without adding unnecessary conflict. The river will never stop moving. Boats will continue to drift. Some will bump into yours. Again. And again. But you no longer need to climb into every collision. You can simply notice it. Steady yourself. Smile gently. And let the current continue. Because the greatest victory is not winning an argument. It is keeping the peace that no one else had the power to take. Perhaps that has always been the secret. The river was never your enemy. The other boats were never your enemy. Even the storms were never your enemy. The only thing standing between you and lasting peace was the belief that every collision required a reaction. And when that belief finally drifts away, like an empty boat disappearing into the morning mist, you discover something extraordinary. The calm you were searching for was quietly waiting inside you all along.